With membership, you really need to do it right.
I've got a couple of clients that done those numbers for you, but they've missed the one vital step.
Always comes back to us. If something is not successful in the salon, it always comes back to us. If you don't do membership right and if you don't do strategically, it's more than likely not going to work for you. It's probably going to work really well for your clients, but then after a while you're going to say like, this doesn't work for me really well. I'm feeling I'm losing money and I'm just giving away stuff, but I don't really have return. Or maybe you don't even realize that your membership and packages are not working for you.
They don't even know their break even. They don't know how to price what they're doing in the first place. So then they're taking all that pricing madness and putting it into a package and just hoping for the best that, oh, this will work.
Either we don't know what we are doing, so we try to swing it, or we know what we are doing, but we don't communicating properly with our team. We just think that because it's clear in our head, it's clear for them also, so they can communicate it very easily.
If you're packing too much into those things that are low cost, high profit, if you're packing too many of those things into your membership or into your package, you've got nowhere to go unless you've got a whole heap of other things on the side that you can have as an upsell. Hello and welcome everyone. It's great to be back. I'm Jodie Fielden and I'm here with my work wife, bestie and business partner, Ajay Varga. During these podcasts, we share how you can leverage your passion into profit. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a seasoned salon owner, or someone who's just thinking about starting out, you're in the right place because we've just about done it all. And we're here to share with you that you can too, because it's time to believe your salon can be everything you ever wanted.
Hello and welcome everyone back. Today's topic is all about building memberships and packages that will increase your profit and not costing you more time and energy or money. Also, we will cover the common mistakes, the must-haves for success, and how to use membership as a smart move during a price increase. But before we even think about launching a membership, you need to know your numbers. What does each service cost you, and also what you break even and what's your profit margin.
It's critical because without knowing these things, it's easy to offer packages or memberships that sound amazing to your clients but end up costing you so much money. I mean, how many people have we seen big spas, especially the memberships and the packages, and then when they buy those gift cards and or doing like a 10-pack but don't take into account everything.
Yes, absolutely. And with membership, you really need to do it right. Because if you don't do membership right and if you don't do strategically, it's more than likely not going to work for you. It's probably going to work really well for your clients, but then after a while you're going to say like, this doesn't work for me really well. I'm feeling I'm losing money and I'm just giving away stuff, but I don't really have return. Or maybe you don't even realize that your membership and packages are not working for you.
Yeah, look, I was the package queen. Remember
Mm.
how many packages I used to
Yeah,
have in
I
my
know.
salon? I tried every package known to man. And it was a habit that I'd been taught from like my bosses and that they used to package everything up too. And then, pulling what we've spent the last 7 years now, pulling apart
Yeah.
salon packages and clinics and that. And once you really sort of go down and see the numbers and how much money people are losing in their packages because it's easy to run a package, that's scary. And then memberships, like what gyms are a good one for memberships, that they have
Yeah.
all these memberships and then they tank after a few years because either they can't have enough members or there's not enough. They've got a whole heap of members, but there's no money in it.
You need to know what you are doing when it comes to packages. And you need to understand how packages or membership, and you need to understand how to put them together properly.
Saying that, let's talk about the top 5 mistakes. Like these are the big doozies that people are making when they're trying to put together a package.
So number one is skipping cost and margin analysis. This is huge. This is what we every single day when we work with salon owners, we see it. They just put together the membership and they don't do any cost analysis. What it means that you have no idea, like how much is your membership cost. Maybe it looks really, really nice on the paper, laid down with numbers and with the value, sorry, with the price what you are wanting for your membership. But then in the same time you have no idea how much is it really costing you to actually serve your members. And when it comes to packages, exactly the same. So many times people are saying, oh, we just put it together as packages because it's easier for online booking, or it's easier for people. It's also easier for me because then it's just one price and I don't need to worry about anything else. And once we say, all right, we are not against packages, we are not against membership, but let's just pull it back. Let's just create your baseline with pricing. And then when we have a really clear understanding about your profit margin, then we can start to play with it and we can start to figure it out, how far we can move, what can we give away or what can we add. And whenever everything is, when your baseline is created, then we can package them together. But at least you will have a really good understanding that why you are charging what you are charging.
And look, you can't even if people. We've got a couple of clients that they've done those numbers for you, but they've missed the one vital step before that, and it's they don't even know their break even. They don't know what they don't know how to price what they're doing in the first place. So then they're taking all that pricing madness and putting it into a package and just hoping for the best that this will work. But like what's the most popular one? I think full head of foils for $190. Like
I know,
how
199. Yeah.
199, $99 for half a head.
Yeah,
A laser facial, $199. Where do you get that from? Like
I know. And when people are asking, like in Facebook groups and other platforms, like people are saying, just charge $100 an hour. Like based on what?
more.
It's so dangerous to listen to those advices because someone somewhere at one place they said it's a good idea to charge $100 an hour. But
It
what it
was
is?
something It was something that went out in the industry probably 25 years ago, that this is the industry standard, because no one else knew how to like work out what you need to charge per hour. So they're like, right, well, this is the industry standard. The industry standard can be any number they pulled out of their backside because it's relevant to the individual and their business. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just blows my mind. And I used to fall for it. I used to fall for the same mistake when I first started the salon. I would just listen to what everyone said, or what I've been speaking to some clinic owners that do some like really high end face cosmetic surgery, and they said to me, "Oh well, the company tells me what I should be charging based
Mhm.
on what they believe," and so they said $2,500, so I charged 2,000.
This is the danger of not knowing how to run a business based on numbers, and you just go for the ride and you just trust in everyone else's opinion because you don't know how to do it. You believe if someone gives you an answer, that's the right answer.
And they give that answer with such confidence.
Mhm.
It's the conviction behind what they're saying that it must be true. They're so confident in what they're saying. It's just like,
Yes,
hey,
yes.
you had me like I even believe you until I stop and think about it. I go, hang on a second, how'd you come up with that?
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So that's the
All right.
biggest mistake. I think that's the number one biggest mistake when you don't do it properly based on your cost and knowing your profit margin, knowing how far you can go. And if you give away certain things, how is going to affect your profit and business.
There's so much more I could even go into, like the side of it where, you've put it together. Just because you think it's a great idea doesn't mean that people are going to buy it. Let's do number two. So it's over discounting without strategy.
This is comes back to our industry, like we are so passion driven, and we think, like a good membership comes together that we chuck everything to the client. We had this, we had that, we had that. And we think, like we need to make it like really punchy, and we need to give away everything, and we need to discount, we need to give 25% of or whatever it is. It is again, when you don't have a strategy, like, how do you know you can give away 25% or even 10% when you don't know if your price is allowing you to do that? And that's very dangerous, because so many times when I see packages, people are putting together all these packages, and then it's not just over discounting, but adding things like so generously without thinking about the long term impact. Because many times when people put together packages or membership, they thinking about the money what they can get, the weekly money, or right away what they can get for a package, and they don't really think about how much is it really costing me to provide that service. So when you don't put your membership and packages together strategically, more than likely at the end of the day, you actually going to be not just not profitable, but probably you're going to pay for your client to have the benefit of the membership.
A really big mistake that they make in that strategy, like just in between those two, is that when they do a package and the client comes back for like however many services, they're not taking into account the resources that that client's going to be taking up in 8 weeks' time and budgeting for it out of the money they get from the package, because they're using that package money or the membership money to float today and not taking into consideration what's going to be floating tomorrow and 6 and 8, like whenever they're coming back in. And then they're resenting people having the packages, and like it just creates this whole cycle of trauma. And we've seen businesses, haven't we, like really
Yeah.
big cars go belly up because they've just been inundated with, having just relied on the gift voucher sales, but then not taking into consideration the business budget to service them all. So yeah, God, guys, just be careful with your strategy. In my head, I had a strategy, but it wasn't. I would just put something together, and then the next part is top mistake is something that, well, the next two, three. Actually, I'm looking at the next three that we're about to look at, and I made all of these. So making the structure too complex. So the client didn't understand, you don't understand, and my favorite is the team didn't understand, which I was so guilty of.
It's so true, because like when it comes to, and we're looking at memberships, like they are so convoluted, and like you get free this, and like maybe free birthday gift, free this, free that, and there is nothing specific about it. And because it's not structured, it actually creates confusion. And we know so well, isn't it? Like our coaches taught us a long time ago, like confused people don't buy. So we really, really need to make sure that what we are presenting is a clear cut, like they will know exactly what they get for how much, and they will know all the terms and conditions, because if you make it really complex, it's not going to be appealing for your clients. And just think about it. If you need to explain multiple times what's in your membership or what the packages includes, that
Yeah.
means
It's gotta be the, explanation for dummies, like, because when you're putting it together in your own mind, it makes so much sense,
Mhm.
but you need to give it to your 90-year-old nana, and if she can't understand what's going on, then it's too complicated. Actually, no, my nanas
Yeah,
get it.
I wanted to give the example,
Okay.
just give it to your 7-year son, 7 years old son or daughter, and if they say like, "What?" And you are not on the right. Let's move on to the next one.
What was I the worst at when it came to creating a package or a special or a membership? What was the biggest naughty that I used to do that sent you crazy?
Yeah, not preparing or involving the team. When you create stuff like promotions, packages, membership, and you know what's going on, but no one else knows what's going on. And then your clients are coming in and asking about it, and your team is just like, we don't have any membership.
I
Or we
had all
don't
these
have those
flyers
packages.
coming out. Graham went and did letterbox drops, and so we had, and this was back before it got flooded from doing it and stuff. Anyway, we got a really good return on investment, and Graham was out walking the dog, putting the flyers in, and then all of a sudden, like all these flyers started, clients were coming in to book in with these flyers, and my team are like, I don't know what that is. Is that for us? And because I'd gotten creative with like my branding and decided to, try a new style and stuff, even my team couldn't even like, is this our salon? And they knew nothing about what was in there. They knew nothing about what was the offer. And so the poor client standing there at the front desk just looking on going, is this like a lunatic asylum? Like no one knows what's going on. And my team were just like, oh, Jodie's not even here to ask. I'm sorry, here you go. You'll have to come back when she's here. So not only did my team get upset, I look like an idiot and I lost clients because my team don't like, if you haven't involved your team, they don't want to deal with it. And if you're not there to face the music, then they definitely don't want to deal with it.
Yes, absolutely. And you need to go that far when you create something new in the salon, like packages, membership, series, or whatever it is, or when you run a new promotion, that you need to have that team meeting, and maybe multiple times until they understand everything. When you're going to create a briefing document, that document going to include everything, so everyone can have their own document to learn. And then you're going to get into role playing, because most of the time, selling memberships or packages, it doesn't come that natural to our team members. So it always comes back to us. If something is not successful in the salon, it always comes back to us, because either we don't know what we are doing, so we try to swing it, yeah, or we know what we are doing, but we don't communicating properly with our team. We just think that because it's clear in our head, it's clear for them also, so they can communicate it very easily. So yeah,
Of
so
course
it's
it is.
it's it's very, very important to understand that if you don't involve your team, or if you don't prepare your team, you can have the best thing put together. It's not going to work.
And just another thing about like preparing the team and the structure as well is that you will get clients that will try and twist the word of whatever the offer is. And if you're not very specific and very careful about the wording you use when you do these offers, like a package or a membership, is that they will say, but it means this. There's no limit on how many of this. It doesn't say anything about, if my hair's extra long or if, I need extra product or whatever, like you have to have everything very clear for your team and for the client so that you don't get caught in that trap of like being so unsure yourself that it just causes so much confusion.
I totally agree. And it is very dangerous, because obviously it's not just happening within the salon, but like with your clients also. So if you are not, or if your team is not clear on delivering what it is, your clients are not going to be interested. So that's very, very close to like when you have something complex what you cannot explain, or you
Mhm.
have something great but you cannot explain it either, because you are not prepared, you don't know, and if the clients have questions, you don't know what to say.
And also one that you and I were talking about last night was if they don't believe in what you're doing, that's a big one. If they don't believe that it's a good membership or a good package.
That came back to pricing membership. And yeah, so if your team and you don't believe that you can sell the membership for what the price is, because you calculated your membership and this should be the price, and you don't believe, then you're never going to be able to sell, because you only can sell what you believe it's the value for anything. It's not
Yeah.
just, membership or whatever. You won't be able to convince people that this is a great value if you think it's not a great value. So
Yeah.
that's going to stop you selling your membership. Absolutely.
So number 5. launching without timing it with a price increase?
Many times people are asking, like, when is the best time, to actually create or launch a membership and, or create packages or create series of 3, 9, and 6. And I think really the best time, the best and easiest way to sell all those things, when you do a price increase and you're going to create your memberships, compare with your price increase, so you can show to your clients that we are changing our pricing, but we are introducing membership. And if you sign up for a membership, these are the benefits what you're going to get. So the price increase is not going to affect you as much as someone who is not signing up for membership or series or packages. So this is the easiest way. Obviously, you can launch membership any time of the year, but I think, like, it's the easiest to sell membership when you never had. It is when you actually putting your pricing up.
Like I said, all roads lead back to the numbers. And if you don't base your decision on doing something like a membership or a package or something like that, if you don't base it on the pure facts, like the numbers aren't emotional, they're just fact. You can't, well, you can jig it if you go and change it, but if you put the true numbers in there, like it or not, you'll find out whether it's going to work.
So let's talk about what makes a membership or package work.
This isn't about slashing prices. It's about creating value that feels generous to the client, but it still has to work for your bottom line. So there are
Mhm.
5 things. So we're going to do the 5 things every profitable and well-loved membership or package needs. So number 1, it's built on real cost and margin.
If you want to create a membership or packages or series which works for you, you really need to know the cost of your each service, which is product, time, wages, overhead, and you need to make sure that your membership or package is still profitable. Because if you don't do that, you're going to head down for a very, very dangerous road.
Yeah, and once you've done that, you can offer incentives. You can give savings for clients, but I think the one thing we want to make sure is that there is a saving, but you've still built in enough into your profit margin.
Like sometimes people are saying, like, can I give discount? We want to move away from discounting, but when
It's a
it comes
different.
to, it just depends who you want to attract with your membership. Yeah. And you
Mm.
can call something as a discount, or very strategically, you can think of, say, products or some of extra when you can introduce savings for your clients, and it's not the same.
And the one thing that I always say from the marketing side of things is focus on the added value. So it puts it into a positive mindset instead of discounting, which is a negative. Like you're taking away from something instead of adding. So I guess it's those vibrational things, isn't it? So
Yes,
above the
absolutely.
line, you're keeping it positive, you're growing something, it's lifting them up and they're getting something for themselves. Whereas if it's discounting, it's a negative connotation and you're taking away and they're like, okay, well, I'm just going to focus on the dollars that I'm saving. I'm not going to focus on the benefits that I'm getting.
The second one is we always adding value instead of discounting. And this is our golden rule. Yeah. When we add anything extra, we need to think about, all right, so how much is it costing for us? And we
Mm.
always want to think about low cost in service labor. And, it's still a really good value for the client. And this is when you need to have your pricing right. You need to have your pricing calculator when you know how much is the product cost, what is my time cost, what is my profit margin, and then you will be able to pinpoint all those services which can fall into the value add category. Without this, you are just shooting in the air, like you don't know what you don't know. And again, you can value add and you can be very generous, but then you're going to end up with an offer which is not going to work for you. It's going to work perfectly for the client because they're going to get everything, And at the end of the day, you're going to be like, yes, I'm getting my money weekly for my membership, which is good because it creates for me income. But at the end of the day, what I have to give back, it's always, I feel it's always in a loss somewhere because it takes too much time. We're using too much products and we're giving away this free and that free, and then we're discounting this and discounting that, and it doesn't work for us.
Mm. And there's one thing that people aren't thinking about when they're doing all those kind of things is that you're taking away your ability to upsell. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when someone's in, if you're packing too much into that, those things that are low cost, high profit, if you're packing too many of those things into your membership or into your package, you've got nowhere to go unless you've got a whole heap of other things on the side that you can have as an upsell. Yeah. Like, for example, one of our clients made over $15,000 in 3 weeks just by upselling to people already booked in. So whether they've got a package or they're coming in with a gift voucher or what have you, there's still room to increase that client spend in the benefit of your client. You don't ever offer anything that is not in the best interest for your client, but you should always have something that you can offer that is in the best interest for the client as an added on. And especially if they are having like a package or a membership, because they've already paid for it. And
Mhm.
that's one thing that Adriana always points out is that they've already paid for it. So them um, adding something on at the day is not a hard sell.
This is exactly what we teach. Yeah. So when someone pays ahead or pays weekly, then for your team, it's really, you need to leave a room to be able to offer, upgrade, recommend. You don't want to give everything for one price. And also, as Jody mentioned, those clients are more than likely willing to purchase because on the day they don't have to spend money on anything.
Mhm. And I know that
So
I do that actually when I'm in somewhere. I'm quite happy to like have a
mhm,
look around and go, oh, especially if I'm in a beauty clinic, like or a skin
yeah.
clinic, I'm diving into the I do that at our clients' salons when I go to do training. I'm over in their retail going, okay, what can I buy and take home with me today?
We want a simple and easy to understand structure. We talked about it, but again, just remember, guys, keep it very simple, like one, two, or maximum three tiers. You don't want to keep, like, you don't want to make many different versions. And when you create the tiers, those tiers, they really need to be very clearly lined up and more adding value for each of the higher level tiers. So I saw very recently that someone was thinking about putting membership together, and every single tier they had, and we don't recommend this, but 20% of additional service, 20% of retail, but every single tier had the 20%. So then I'm just thinking about, well, if I'm a big spender and if I want to sign up to the highest tier, but I can see everyone is getting the same, would that really attract me to sign up for a membership? I would be like, why is it? Like, why am I
Mhm.
paying more and getting exactly the same discount than the other?
I was going to say that's going to make someone stop and not want to buy it rather
Exactly.
than even go for the lower one. They're just going to go no.
This is it because exactly how a person who would attract it to a higher price or a higher tier, they would say like, is something not right here? And I just don't feel this membership is something that I would commit to. So just make sure everything is nice and clear so your clients, they don't get confused or they don't feel like it doesn't make sense.
Really important that we are very clear and transparent with the memberships and stuff, because so many people have been burnt by memberships, like those gym memberships, from that someone signs up for and they can't get out for 12 months, or
Yeah.
there's all these like hidden clauses. There's like some people will look at memberships like, what's the scam here, you know? So even like uh with something that my daughter's been signed up for, um I've asked Graham to cancel it 3 times. He's contacted them to cancel it, and they're still taking $99 a month. You know,
Wow.
so and then it takes a whole month for me to find out it hasn't been cancelled. So we've had 3 months of like chasing to cancel this. And, you know, so you really need to make sure your systems are really in in place. Your terms and
Mhm.
conditions are really clear, very transparent, especially nowadays, because if you don't get it right and you don't fix it quick, then social media word spreads like wildflower. You know, like before social media, it was just telling your friend. Now you're telling everyone. So you need to be careful, and you know you've got monthly auto renewals and everything. You need to make sure all test all those systems and make sure they work well.
All right. So the next thing what you can or you want to pay attention when you want to put together a winner membership or package, that as we said, you focus on the high margin and high impact services. So you're going to include as an add-on high margin but low labor services. But in order for you to do that, you need to know your prices. So it's very important that don't just think that I think, like I have 50% profit on this, because I will guarantee or I can guarantee you that if you look at your numbers, you probably don't.
It is. It needs to be a high impact service. And you've got to remember, like I mentioned before, cost effective add ons that feel like pampering. Yeah. Like we want to make sure that they are feeling like it's a um, luxury sort of to be a part of this membership rather than, oh, this is the cheap, unless that's your business model. Like you've got to be really clear on the market you're serving, whether it's like the high turnover and that's your demographic, then you need to just make sure it's pumping through really quickly and, you know, very cost effective. And the luxury doesn't necessarily need to be there because people aren't expecting that from a membership. But if you're a high end one focusing on high ticket clients and high ticket services, you need to make sure that your members feel like they're VIP.
Yeah, so when is the best to launch a membership? Look, anytime launching a membership could be great, but if you thinking about putting your prices up or raising your prices, then this is perfect for you to pair it together, because it's going to be a very, very easy conversation. If someone wants to save some money or they don't really want to pay the new prices, then if they enter into membership, then you're going to give them some benefits for that. So also the other thing what I always um, sort of emphasize, like these days when people are looking into affordability or budgeting for services, this is when your weekly memberships, like if you let your clients to pay weekly for services, it comes to play. So that means, like that your salon going to have a weekly income, like a predictable income, and also your clients can budget weekly. And then when they come for the service, but also it's going to get some benefit, some extra value for them to actually budgeting for those services. So membership is even really good for when you want to make it easier for your clients to spend money, when you want to improve your client retention, because that's going to close the cycle. So people are not going to push it out, the services like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or maybe, like a month. When you have a membership and that membership is a good membership, that going to encourage your clients rebook, and also you're going to retain them, they're going to return faster.
Yeah. And not only that, it also helps your team get their KPIs up and the salon by having the rebookings there, because that's the easiest way to have that consistency and have work there for your team to do and things like that, is that they're booked in for their next appointments, and then you can budget things and just stay on top of it and not let it all run away from you.
Exactly. And then this is when you're going to take care of your quiet months because the membership is just ticking over. So you won't have the deep or quiet months. And it's actually beneficial for you, beneficial for the clients. So just listen to your clients because if they say, like, oh, like I need to budget for that, or, like, I'm not quite sure if I can, afford this next time. This is when you can think about maybe membership would be something what would help both of you. So the members return more often and book more services. That means, like if they pay ahead, then on the day they are more willing to purchase products or upgrade or update services. And then also it's going to give a predictable reoccurring revenue, especially it's going to be very helpful for you when in quiet months. And also, as we mentioned, members tend to spend more on additional services and retail.
We would love to hear from you guys. What's stopping you from launching a membership, or have you been thinking about you want to launch a membership and you're not really sure how to structure it? So you can 100% reach out. I can hook you up with Audrey. She can answer your questions. Share a story. Let us know what has worked and what hasn't worked for you. We've got some doozies. Like I said, I was the queen of not letting my team know anything about what was coming, what was going on.
It's definitely a educated skill what you need to have to put membership together. And your first membership or first packages, they are not going to be the last. Yeah. So you're going to start somewhere, but at least hopefully after this conversation, you're going to start to dig in a little bit more and you're going to start to understand that, I'm thinking about membership, but if I just put everything together, I might need to do a little bit more work in order to make sure that membership is going to work.
And it's just one little thing I want to say as well when it comes to marketing. Don't take a membership that's untested and unproven and put it into a social media marketing campaign. Always test your memberships organically first. And if you're not sure how to do that, again, reach out. We'll have a chat and help guide you through it. All right. That's it for today.
We have too many questions about membership packages and client retention. And I think if you think through what we were talking about today, it's all going to help you to start to implement uh, things in your salon what you might never even were thinking about, or sometimes you are thinking about membership but you don't know how to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
like if you need a little bit more information, just feel free to reach out. We teach this for everyone, day in day out. So we definitely have some really really good advice, and we can help you to put together memberships and packages.
And also, just a quick shout out, our Salon Accelerator program. I do hold I take you on a bit of a deep dive into your business. We'll have a look at the structure, where you're at. Is this something that could help you and benefit you? It's complimentary. We'll put the link in the chat, in the doobie whacker that Adriana knows the description. Thank you for helping me out there, instead of just sitting there laughing at me. Or you can reach out via Instagram or Facebook, and one of the team will be able to book you in. And I'm going to try and say our handle without getting it wrong, so I always mix it up with our email address. Instagram and Facebook is @FocusGDT.
So we want you guys to find us in every platform. You just need to know, and you just need to remember for one thing. But definitely we're going to add into our description the link for the accelerator demo. So you just book it and you're going to end up in a Zoom room with Jody, and you're going to talk through everything, and we're going to talk about your business. And again, like we going to be very transparent. We're going to see where you are at, where you would like to be, and if we can help. And if we don't, we definitely won't sell you something what we know that you won't benefit from. We are exactly the same like you are in the salon. So
Yeah.
you never would recommend anything for your clients what they would not benefit from.
Exactly. And what we will do, if we're not the right fit, we will give you some direction. and we may give you some resources or something like that to give you some sort of, you'll walk away with help of one kind of another.
So thank you very
All right.
much for staying with us, and we will see you at the next episode. Bye for now.